with your friends?
I don't want them to.
Why? It's such a nice day outside. You haven't been outside yet. We are going to go bike riding in a minute.
I'm skateboard riding.
Why don't you go outside on the trampoline?
I think one of the biggest questions that I get asked is how Dylan is with friends and how I help him to make friends. One of the biggest misconceptions about children with autism is that they don't want any friends. I think it's actually quite the opposite. They just don't know how to socialise. They're quite socially awkward and they don't know how to play like, you know, neurotypical children.
So you're going to be president of Ireland. You're going to be, where are you going to be president of?
London.
London?
Yeah, Mayor of London.
Mayor of London.
Can you imagine if Riaz was the first autistic Somalian Prime Minister? That would be awesome. And then you're going to be the first autistic president of Ireland.
Yeah.
What are you going to change?
I'll ban smoking and Coca-Cola.
Ban smoking and Coca-Cola. And we're going to get rid of plastic, right? When Dylan was diagnosed, I don't know about you, one thing I was really worried about was that he wouldn't have any friends. I think all you want for your children anyway is to be happy and to love and to be loved. Were you the same?
Yeah, I think that was the first thing that came to my mind was, how will he be when he grow up? Will he have a life, like a family or friendship, or how life will be away from me, and then what would happen to him?
Children on the spectrum are really, they're obviously very connected to their mothers, and that's a lot of pressure as well at the same time because they don't want to go anywhere without you.
I know, he's stuck with it.
When Dylan was at his specialist nursery, I asked the teacher, was he interacting with anybody or was he talking to anybody? And they came and said, well, actually, yeah, this little boy called Riaz has started and they've got a little bond. They want to go everywhere with each other. And even though they couldn't talk, they were communicating with each other just by taking each other's hands. So I immediately jumped on this. And I went up to Ian and was like, hi, are you Riaz's mum? Do you want to come for a play date?
And I was like, huh, who's this woman? First day, I actually stayed with him for 2 hours to calm him down because he didn't want me to leave. And then the next day, it got much easier. He just went in and I only stayed for 10 minutes or so. And that's when he came back, talking about Dylan. Dylan was the reason that Riaz was going to school for one point. The nursery was amazing.
So it was a nursery where children with developmental delays went. Some of them were severely dyslexic, some of the children had autism, some of them had other complex needs. Dylan and Riaz just seemed to meet at the same point, and it was so nice for me to be able to meet Ayan because she understood what I was going through. I didn't know either. And I didn't have no friends with somebody with special needs that was going through the same thing I was going through. Funny enough, a lot of the people that I was friends with disappeared when Dylan got diagnosed with autism.
That is true.
We stopped getting invited to birthday parties. We stopped getting invited
hanging around with our normal life.
Yeah. And it was, I mean, we avoided them anyway because Dylan would just have meltdowns anytime we even walked into like a playground or something like that. But then we started doing our own play dates, and I thought that because Dylan had difficulties connecting with other children, if I brought children into his home environment, then he would be able to feel comfortable and be able to play with Riaz.
Yeah.
And that's when we started doing play dates, and I think we spent every day together for the next 2 years.
We're so lucky, like having us each other, and because we became friends and we became like
It's a good job I like you, actually.
I know. It's not like every other parents you get like this.
No, not at all.
You know, but
no,
we
were really
good.
fortunate that we actually really did get on really well. So when you're at school, who do you play with?
No one.
No one. Why, do you find it hard to play with people at school?
No, I really want Riaz to play with me.
You want Riaz to play with you? He goes up to a group of people and he'll have an idea for a game, and it takes him so long to try and explain the game, they've already lost interest and are playing something else. So at school, he doesn't really play with anybody, even though they love him. But we have to, you know, I have to go out of my way to get play dates, to get the kids to come here, to help them build a bond. When you have play dates, it's really important to do an activity, like a structured activity. Because they can be socially awkward and they don't know how to connect with someone else, you know, Dylan and Riaz are quite unusual in the fact they are like in their own little bubble together, so we never really needed to structure play dates for them. But for Dylan and his neurotypical friends at school, if we have play dates when they come over, we have to have an activity. Otherwise, Dylan would literally sit on his iPad the whole time, sitting next to a child, and he thinks that's interacting. You know, we do activities like rock climbing, we take them swimming, we take them biking. We do things where they can bond together, and that also gives them a subject to talk about at school. Hello, Serene. I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
How is it having a brother with autism?
I don't know.
Is it hard sometimes?
No, it's just normal.
It's just normal? Because you're older than Riaz, aren't you?
Yeah.
How old are you?
10. No, 11.
How was it in the beginning, on the Riaz?
Annoying.
It was annoying. Why was it annoying?
Because whenever we're in a restaurant, he throws knives and forks everywhere.
And yeah, we end up leaving early.
Yeah, and we can't go anywhere because of Riaz.
I know, that's kind of annoying bit, isn't it? What do you think about Dylan and Riaz together?
It's funny.
They're funny, aren't they?
They're best friends for life.
Which means you're best friends for life too. Can I keep you?
No,
Oh, why not?
because I have my mom.
Oh, that's true. Oh, why do you not go to school?
Nobody says yes. I don't know.
Is it really hard?
It has for a reason.
Is it hard? Did you not like tooting school? You hated it. Why did you hate it?
I don't know.
Was it friends, classroom?
Classroom, boys.
It's too noisy.
How do you know? Did mom tell you?
I can read your mind.
Mom's a liar.
What do you mean, liar? I can read minds. Well, I'm gonna read.
Liar, your own lesson.
I'm gonna read your mind right now. You're thinking,
You're thinking.
my mum is so beautiful.
Liar, I'm dabbing it what I'm thinking of.
Okay. Unfortunately, Dylan and Riaz couldn't go to the same primary school, which was a bit of a disaster.
Yeah.
Riaz currently still not in school.
Yeah, still.
Because that's a whole other video. We had Dylan in a specialist kind of a feeder school that went into a mainstream school, but there was only 5 children in his class and 4 of them were non-verbal. And Dylan obviously was becoming more and more verbal, but he wanted friendships.
Yeah.
Everything in our house had to have a pair at one point. He wanted everything to have a friendship.
Them to have each other as
Yeah.
a friendship, and we moved. You moved far away.
So I
from
moved.
us.
I moved.
But they still.
I moved an hour and a half away from each other. But we still make sure they meet up.
They
and
talk to each other every single day.
That's why the iPad's really good, because they do talk to each other on the iPad
They
all the
talk
time.
to each other. Like they to their world, they're not far apart.
No.
They're always each other's life.
Sleepovers too. Can we please have 2? Yeah,
2 sleepovers.
yeah, please.
Okay, what down here?
Yeah, I want Riaz to live near our house.
I know, darling.
Please, he doesn't have a school.
Where can you come to your school?
Yes, I want him to come to my school and live near me.
Okay. Oh, don't cry. Oh, Riaz.
I love you. See you soon. Bye, guys.
All right, I know.
Please don't want him to live near me.
Well, I know, but unfortunately he can't live near you just yet, darling.
How many sleepovers?
2 sleepovers.
Thanks, but don't lie.
I won't lie, I promise. A pinky promise.
Pinky promise.
No, pinky promise is this here, like that. Okay. That means I promise.
Bye, Riaz. See you someday, Riaz.
See you someday. You're too cute.